Alrighty, there we are. Everything's up and running like it should. Um, Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. Welcome to today's Microsoft Flight Simulator live stream. We are back finally in the Ukers 52, um, doing a flight from the Eastern Iowa Airport in Cedar Rapids, and we are heading to Milwaukee Mitchell International Airport in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Um, Yeah, says about an hour 58 of flying. I think we'll get there a little bit quicker than that, maybe an hour and a half ish, give or take. Might be a quiet stream, might be a chatty stream. Who knows? We're gonna have story time. There's some things to talk about, I guess. Well, there's a couple things to talk about actually. We're gonna have story time, talking about hard work and people having to go about that. I don't quite understand it, but it is what it is. But we're going to talk about that. And we're also going to talk about oh, the developer stream from I think it was Wednesday evening. Touch a few things about that, and yeah, I think it was Wednesday. Was it Tuesday or Wednesday? I forget. This week, the weeks just the days are blending together, and there's nothing I can do about it. So anyway, we'll sit tight here and we'll get started. We'll spawn in at about 7 o'clock. We'll get the time change, get some sun in the sky. We'll get in the air and make our way to Milwaukee, and then we'll be done for the day. So I'm going to just sip on my coffee and see who pops into chat. Say hello. We'll also do some shout outs along the way. Uh, get some acknowledgement to some folks who are who've been very generous with their shout outs to me. And even some that, it's okay if they don't. It's not, I don't always expect it. It's always nice when I get a shout out, even though I've not been making much in the way of content. But I still want to give some shout outs to some folks who are really cool. And, morning, Joseph. I'm fine, Joseph. Nothing much has changed since I was on the farm last night with Mick. There you go. I'm answering your question before you ask it. Everything's fine. So, but we're gonna have story time. We're gonna talk about some stuff with flight simming, and yeah. So there we go. So I'm just gonna continue to have my coffee and kind of wake up and warm up, and we'll do some flying. I will be co-piloting Mick tomorrow, birthday stream. We're gonna do. I know for sure one leg from Slovenia to Prague. Maybe one more leg. He's doing the Iron Maiden European Tour flights, following what Bruce and the folks are. There. Speaking of Mick, there he is. Morning, Mick. Um, Following their 2023 European Tour. So we're gonna do that tomorrow. It'll be afternoonish my time, evening time his time. So looking forward to that. Baffling Joseph as to why I'm not actually piloting the plane. We like to baffle Joseph every once in a while. It's good fun. Good, clean fun baffling Joseph. Oh, I gotta check if anybody's going to join. We are on the Southeast Asia. Look at that. I didn't even have to change it. Here is the route for today. And here is, of course, the server information. And, yeah, so. So yeah, we'll get started here in just a moment. About 9 more minutes, we'll spawn in and we'll get our first VOR dialed in. It's the Vortac, and then so basically here's what we're gonna do, folks. I'm gonna just kind of show you our plan for today. We're gonna take off here from runway 27. We're gonna go out just a little bit and then hang a hard right and make our way towards our first navigation aid right up there. There it is right there. And then we're going to continue to turn, head for our second navigation aid, which is right there. And then we're going to turn towards Milwaukee. And we're going to land on runway 1 left. Nice long runway. We got plenty of space to slow down. And if we have to hover over the runway a little bit to get there, before we set the aircraft down, we're fine. We got plenty of space to do so. And so there we go. So we're just that's the plan for today in a nutshell. But I guess while we're waiting, we can kind of start talking about stuff coming for Flight Sim. I was a bit skeptical watching the developer. It's the first one that they've done since the holiday break. Or they basically go into silent mode. They do a developer stream. I think it was November, maybe very early December. I forget. And then they go into hello infidel fireman, and then they go into holiday mode where they don't really say much. Not a lot happens, especially on the Xbox side. We still got some marketplace updates, but they were very, as Jorg pointed out, they were very thin. They were kind of not very exciting. And he talked about the backlog of the amount, especially the aircraft, and I think it was in the hundreds that there's a backlog to get stuff cleared to get to the marketplace. And he talked about the Wilga as a prime example, which I thought was kind of interesting because we got it last night finally in the marketplace. But he said, the PC crowd had this thing for 2 months at least, maybe little, 2.5, something like that, give or take. How come the Xbox side is still waiting on it? And suddenly, poof, there it is last night in the marketplace. So it was like a magic wand. Jorg says, this is unacceptable. Okay, I guess we'll get it out tonight on Thursday. And sure enough, we got it on Thursday. He did say things are going to start picking back up here going forward. There's the beta for the Sim Update 12 that they got to get going so that they can make sure that is up to snuff before they release it to the Xbox community, especially because that's supposed to have the WASM fix. Finally, after over a year, or about a year, it's finally happening. That's what they're saying. It's going to happen. And then everything is supposed to be all better. All rainbows and unicorns after that, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, it's supposed to dramatically improve things, especially for the Xbox side. We'll start getting the aircraft that we've been chomping at the bit for. Um, so yeah, it's about time, and hopefully it does not get pushed back again. I cannot think that they can afford, after the delay after delay after delay, that if there's another delay, I think it's, and I could be wrong, but I think it's gonna definitely hurt the Xbox community if they have another delay. So they can't. I don't think they can afford to do it. I think if they can't get it done, it's there's going to be a bit of a, people are going to be like, I'm done with it, you know. So especially now that I think PC prices are starting to become a little bit more reasonable. Some people may use their tax refund because it's, we're in that tax season right now, and they may go and just buy a PC. And Joseph managed to get some. I feel so much better knowing that now, Joseph. Joseph likes to keep us up to date on his medical conditions, I guess, in various chats across the tubes of you and Twitch. Uh, um, so yeah, there's lots of things coming. The big, I think it's the 225, the big Ukrainian cargo plane that was destroyed last year, is coming to the sim. Later this month for the PC folks. The Xbox folks are going to have to wait for the Sim Update 12 before we can get it. But it is coming. Um, what else? I think us New Zealand is on track to be the World Update coming this month, I think. So, yeah. But yeah, it was very very interesting stuff. They had questions specifically about certain things. They weren't taking a lot of other questions outside of what was already approved. I guess it seemed like they already had the questions predetermined, and they weren't looking for anything else. I don't know. It was kind of weird, but so yeah. But it was nice to have some better, some acknowledgement from Jorg that the marketplace thing is a huge debacle for the Xbox side, and they're trying to get through the backlog, but they're trying to hire more people to do all that. But it's still going to take time. So we'll get that out the way. So there we go. Things are moving along for the flight sim, especially for the Xbox side. And the Wilga does look fantastic. For the price that you pay, you get a lot of plane. You get different variants. You have like a early model, a midlife model, and then the newer model. The newer model has a few more bells and whistles than the early model. Um, Looks fantastic. I did pick it up. It's one of those planes that especially on the Xbox, we've been waiting for some time. So it's got some cool stuff with it, and yeah. So there we go. And that was the only thing of note. Although the Cessna Mustang business jet was released also. Looks pretty cool. I'm kind of holding off on that one. But it has a like an ambulance, business jet ambulance kind of service thing with it. So that's pretty cool. I'm waiting to see what the reviews are like because I don't know the developer all that well. So I'm waiting to see how it goes. So, all right, let's go ahead and spawn in here and get everything set up, and we'll be on our way. Since I've rattled on long enough, rambled, whatever you want to call it. So, before I forget, I did say let's start off with some shout outs. We'll start with Scruffy's right hand person, Infidel Fireman. Usually when Scruffy's busy with the Alright, let's do a couple things here because I did forget about the weight. So yeah, he's Scruffy's right hand person there in all things Scruffy Tam. And the running of the virtual airline, Parasox Airline. Today's flight is brought to you by Parasox Airline. Pair of socks. Just because you have a pair of socks does not mean they have to match. Scruffy will show you. His socks never match on stream. So usually he is the first one that gets the shout out if Scruffy's a little bit otherwise engaged when I pop into Scruffy's chat. Ooh, there we go. Perfect. 7:30. And so yeah, and then of course Scruffy Tam. I'm very, we Scruffy talks about this, and I'll reciprocate it. When you have support of a lot of people, or, well, no, I wouldn't say a lot of people. When you have support of people who are genuine in their friendship with you, it makes all the difference in the world. And, since I've not been putting out content and Scruffy still gives me shout outs and stuff, I feel kind of bad because since I'm not doing anything, I have not been putting out anything much recently. Yeah, you hear Fiddle Fireman sometimes on The Voice. Other times it's Oz, who is doing the narration for Scruffy when he's flying in Australia. There's that. Let's get some lights off. We don't need those on, and we don't need those on. But yeah, he's usually in the stream as well. Yeah. Let's go ahead and get some. Keep the carburetors. Alright, I think we are all set to go. Yep, alright. Let's go ahead and skedaddle. Hey, Captain Arash! How are you, good sir? Nice to see you. Welcome, Compass Club members. I am your host and pilot, Uncle B. Welcome. We are getting kind of back into the swing of things. I'm still kind of taking things a bit slow with my fractured elbow. I have another week. Yeah, I noticed. I just saw it. I just saw it. Jabal, how are you? Welcome. Nice to see everybody here. Hopefully you had a nice flight on your Friday flying. I'm doing well. Yeah, got another week here in the splint. And then I go back next Friday, and hopefully if everything looks well, the split will come off the staples will be removed, and then I can start slow movements and get myself start getting my what's our first heading? 0.6. So yeah, I'll start doing just simple movements just to get the movement back in my elbow, and then as long as that progresses, then I can hopefully start doing that with physical therapy, just kind of getting some strength back in there and all that. It's going to take some time, but yeah, so I'm hoping things are still looking good. It was pretty cool, I have to admit, hearing or looking at the images with the hardware in my elbow. It looked kind of weird, and I said, just out of morbid curiosity, is there pictures of the open, when you guys opened up my elbow? And she said, no, we don't keep those. It's only for reference for the surgeon to know where everything was and where everything goes back to, so that he has some visual references and all that. But dang, I really wanted to see. But yeah, it was a pretty long incision. So yeah, it was. It's been a challenge just having only one hand, which is not my dominant hand. So I've had to kind of adapt to all that. But yeah, it's nice to get back to flying. And matter of fact, I mean, if you don't follow Captain Arash, you are missing out on a lot. You're missing out on learning a whole bunch of stuff about flying and navigating and just awesomeness in general. Hello, Bex. Oh, I just, it was, because I used to be a medic. I said, yeah, just out of my own curiosity, is it possible that you guys, I said, I just wanted to see what it looked like. And she's like, no, unfortunately, we don't keep those as part of your record or anything like that. But yeah, I was just curious just to see what it looked like when they opened it up. But yeah. So no, unfortunately, but the because when I went to see the surgical PA earlier in the week, they did bring me back. Oh, you're welcome, Captain Arash. I always tell people that if you ever want to learn more about stuff in fight sim, you're definitely one of the people. I've learned so much from you in the time we've known each other, and I know it's been about a year since you rated my channel, but you've taught me a lot about streaming, and I've learned even more from Scruffy Tam as well. But just flying in general, you'll learn a whole ton from Captain Arash, and he is so patient. Like, if you're not quite understanding the concepts, he'll keep trying to find a way to explain it that you will finally say, like, the light will go off in your head and you go like, okay, now I get it. So yeah, awesome dude, just one of the most genuine people. He always talks about Scruffy being the most wholesome streamer. Captain Arash is right there with him in the wholesomeness department. Always a fun time, always a good laugh. And yeah, if you're not following him or watching him, you're really missing out on a ton of stuff. So no, I appreciate your friendship. I appreciate all the stuff I've learned from you in the time we've known each other. And I always learn something new when you fly. Even if I'm not flying with you, I'm always learning something new. And that's the best part about it. So thank you. You've definitely helped me change a lot of things for myself and my streaming and all that. So greatly appreciate it. I meant to pop in to watch you this morning, and I was dragging a little bit behind, getting out of bed, this morning, but yeah, good stuff. Well, thank you, Compass Club members. Yep, exactly. He does. He does. He can get scientific. He can, but no, he prefers to try to explain it so that people who are new to it understand the concepts and but part of it is you have to work through it yourself. You have to kind of get start working the theories and everything. Like, I didn't quite understand VOR to VOR flying, and I just kept trying it, and suddenly it was like, okay, things now makes much more sense, and I can do this. Like, it's yeah, it's fantastic. So. And even if, every once in a while he gets into those PMDG 737s and he'll show you the whole startup and how to work everything, you know. Yeah, fantastic stuff. So, yeah. And there we are. But it's nice to see the members of the Compass Club here joining in after Captain Arish's flight. His charter Friday flight. Mondays and Wednesdays you can see him in the Cessna 172 doing his world tour. Usually it's in the evening, not late evening for us, but for many people it's late at night, early in the morning. So it's yeah. Always watch one of his videos afterwards. Catch it on the VOD, and yeah, fantastic flying. Lots of great scenery. Oz helps out with the flight plans and making sure that all the beautiful parts of Australia are featured on the flights. So. I've learned so much about Australia, stuff I didn't even know. So it's always nice to learn about different parts of the world from somebody who actually lives there. It's not just taken from a book or whatever, but it's an actual somebody who actually lives in Australia talks about Australia. So that's always good. I need to throttle back. My mixture since we've been climbing. All right, we're on our way. Nice to be back in the Euchers 52. All right, 44 nautical miles to our Vortec there in front of us. So yeah, the Wilga finally came out last night, Captain Arash. So I was like trying to figure out what plane had that hanging hammock, and then I was like, when I went back and looked at when you did the flight there with the Wilga, I was like, oh yeah, it's that one plane that we're still waiting on. Yeah, it looks like a lot of fun. I can't wait to fly it at some point. Yeah, looks fantastic. I'm keen to see that there's another ant. Hello, Mela. How are you? Nice to see you here. They talked about it in the developer stream. There's another Bush type plane is it the? It's another Antonov or something like that. I think that's the one that's coming. It might come this month, I think. That looks fantastic. I'm doing okay, Mella. Still recovering. Still got the splint on, but yeah, just making getting some content out there. Yeah, it was a it was a good video. It was a good discussion, I think, with Jorg and everybody. That large cargo plane, the 225, will be coming. I think end of February for the 1 year anniversary since its destruction. And then in March, because it's a Wasm plane, it'll come out in March for the Xbox community. All proceeds, Jorg said, will go. Microsoft is not taking a dime out of the sales of the plane. All the money will go to the restoration of the real world aircraft. So they're still finalizing all that. Putting the hello Paradox, how are you? Hopefully you're doing well, recovering as well. I know you've been sick. So yeah, that's going to be fantastic. It looks amazing. I think Inabuilds has picked up the slack on it and they're finishing it up. Because the original developers, I think, were struggling to get things going and get it finished. And so Inabuilds, I think, is stepping in to finish it up. And but what they showed, it's wow. Yeah, it's going to be amazing. So, good. Glad to hear it, Paradox. So yeah. So let's segue into story time so we can get that out the way. Yeah, I was on Mixed Farm last night. I said, I haven't seen a Mellow in a while. So nice to see you as always. So hopefully you're hunkered down there in the city and surviving the crazy weather that we've been having. So yeah, good to see you. I had turkey breast sandwiches for dinner last night. I know you were going to ask. Oh, and we are in what's ads playing? I'll wait to start story time after the ad break is over. Looking for that bad thing to reset. Picture here. All right. I've got a screenshot for the day. Is it not reset? Certainly 2 minutes of ads have played. Hoping it's not like one of those where it plays 20 minutes of ads. Huh. Alright, well. Trying to wait for the ads to stop. Oh, you found a Twitch ad blocker extension for Chrome. All right. Well, it must have been. It's supposed to only be like 2 minutes, 3 minutes tops. But the unfortunate part is, it seems like whenever I haven't been on for a while or something, Twitch kind of just catches up and goes like, "Oh, we got to run a boatload of ads." So I have a bad feeling that that's what's happened. Because that thing is still grayed out. It's not reset. So I have a bad feeling it's like 10 or 12 minutes of ads straight. Tried to figure out a way to deal with it, but it's not. Yeah, I think people are getting a little bit frustrated because I see two people. Yeah, I think. I don't know. It's one of those kind of. I've tried to figure out a way to dial it back, and it's. I think unfortunately the ads sometimes have its own agenda. Which puts people off because, if it's just a couple minutes, it's one thing, but otherwise, if it's more and more ads, and I think people just go like, yeah, I'll come back like later or something. Because it should not still be grayed out at this point. I have a bad feeling that the ads are just. Yeah, I think the ads are still going. I apologize, folks. I've tried to figure out a way to that wouldn't happen, but Twitch has its own agenda sometimes, and yeah. Great. If somebody could tell me if ads are still going, because I don't think everybody. Okay, now it just ungrayed. It just went back to green. Oh, I have a bad feeling. Oh my god, this is not how I wanted things to kick off today. It's all right. I think it's finally over with. Yeah, I think the system was just like, oh, let's just run a bunch of ads because it's been a while. Yay! I think it's finally over with. But, I'm sorry, folks. I genuinely, I've tried to figure out a way to, but like I said, unfortunately, Twitch has its own, there's stuff that happens that I cannot, I don't have any control over. So, anyway, so let's talk about hard work. Recently, it seems that my hard work is a bit of a joke. And I don't know why. I don't quite understand it. Maybe I'm not supposed to understand it, but I'll use it. I like to use my time in the military as an analogy. And so when I was in Afghanistan, we were on the other side of the airfield there in Kandahar. We had a little aid station, which it wasn't like it wasn't very well designed. It was built probably very hastily, but it wasn't built smartly. And so part of the thing was, at some point in our 9-month deployment, which seemed like it was longer than 9 months, but it is what it is. We for whatever reason, and to this day I still don't quite understand how this happened, because we weren't the flight company. We had a company that was dedicated, or still is, to hey, Sergeant Staff. Back, I think, in December, the retrofit's the only one that has it. It has a little tablet here, but it doesn't have anything other than just for navigating in your flight plan. It doesn't have like an autopilot or anything like that. We had to maintain the blood product for the flight medics. So if they got spun up for a medevac mission, one of the medics would run over, grab the blood product from the cooler. It had to be maintained at a certain, temperature, and then run back to their helicopters that was spinning up, and then they would take off. And that blood product was meant, if somebody had serious injuries, they could give them the blood that would hopefully stabilize them long enough to get them to the next level of care. But you had to check it every so often during the shift to make sure that it was still viable, that it was still stored at the correct temperature. If there was an expiration date, that if it was past that date and somebody hadn't pulled it, you were supposed to pull it, or at least make note and say, this blood product needs to be swapped out. We need fresh blood product here, and all that. Now, technically, that was the responsibility of my shift leader, who outranked me. Now, for whatever reason, my shift leader did not want anything to do with it. I don't know why. Again, it's one of those great mysteries that I don't think will ever be solved. So I took it upon myself to make sure. Now, I didn't have to, because it wasn't by the, what everybody knew was supposed to be happening. The shift leader was supposed to be responsible for all that. Now, if I had not taken care of it and looked after it, what would have happened? Well, if the blood product wasn't checked, and we sent out, or they came to get the blood in case somebody needed it, and it was bad, well, that you're talking about somebody's life. Now, I don't accept, or I don't think for one moment that is something that's acceptable, that just because one person is going to be lazy, that I should be lazy as well. Now, did it make any difference that I covered her butt? No. It did not. It did not, at the end of the day, I knew what I did was right. But what if I had let it go, right? It would have been on her, but then, as they always say, the shit rolls downhill. you're a sergeant, you're an NCO. You should have known better. You should have checked it too. You can't, I have other things to take care of. You should have stepped up and done it. So it's like, I'm damned if I do, damned if I don't. That's the way I look at it. Similar stuff, again, not that it was blood product, but when I worked at the community college, we'd have meetings. Okay, we would have an open house in the spring, sometime in the spring, because we were trying to attract the potential high school graduates to come to the community college in the fall. So we would do an open house, and then on the weekends when I worked in the dark room for the photography students to be able to do their work. Yeah, exactly. And people who should have said, yeah, I'll be there, instructors in the photography program, would just kind of go like, well, I don't know. So I'd be like, I'll come in early, get the dark room opened up, kind of get things set up a bit ahead of time so that we can have the students walk through, possible students walk through and see it before the other students who are doing the work, who want to come in and do their stuff. But it boggles my mind. I'm like, wait a minute, you guys are paid to be here. You're probably getting paid way more than I am. This is part of your job. Nope, they couldn't be bothered. And so, but I think about when I think about hard work, right? Hard work for me usually entails that whatever it's called just went offline. Terrific. That there's been some mistakes already made, and basically I'm coming in to unravel the mistakes. Now I don't mind that. I don't. But it does annoy me after a while, because then it becomes a habit, right? It's like when I worked at the hospital for a short while, I had a very lazy coworker who would disappear during the shift. She would go on another floor and sit there at the nurse's desk on one of the floors and not do anything. And I'm running around trying to take care of all these patients, and she's just sitting there lollygagging. I can't do. I'm only one person, right? And so when people make a joke out of, why are you working so hard? And I'm going to use a prime example. Mix Farm is a prime example. Now, granted, it's a video game, right? It's supposed to be fun. I get that. But Mick's time is valuable to me because he only has, when he starts a stream, the clock is running for him, essentially, right? He's only got so much time to stream before he has to call it a night, whether that's 2 hours or 4 hours or whatever. He's got a window of time, and in that time we have to do as much as possible before before we end the stream for the night. But I notice, for whatever reason, people seem to think that, when I'm concentrating. Now, last night, I'm concentrating because mistakes have been made previously, about 2 weeks ago, that I'm trying to unravel the mistakes. Because again, that's what I apparently do a lot in life, is I unravel other people's mistakes. I'm not going to say who caused the mistakes. It's not relevant. But it's a sign, to me, it's always a sign of respect. If somebody calls me and says, hey, I need your help with this project, you have the time. Yes, I have 8 hours or 4 hours or whatever it is. Or I'm sorry, I cannot give the time because I can't, it's not going to be possible for me going forth. But I don't quite understand why people seem to think that it's something to joke about on the heading of 078. Because to me it's serious because it's mixed time. I respect him enough as my friend to give him the time properly to because he values me as his friend. If I don't value him the same way or as close to it as possible, then what's the point of me being there? That's the thing. And I don't think people take it, or they don't take it as seriously, and that's okay. That's on them. That's their thing, right? I can't expect that everybody else is. Well, see, so our staff knows, and it's interesting that people, even though we may not be in the same sort of, uh, job, profession, whatever, there are people who I know will understand what I'm trying to say and say, yep, I know exactly how you feel because I experience it myself. And it's not fun because it wears you out after a while, right? Everybody says, well, it's your gift. No, I don't like that gift. I'd rather return that gift and get something else, please. Because it wears you out after a while. It really does. I don't know any other way to put it, but it really gets on you, and you're just kind of like tired of going behind people and fixing their mess. It's not fair to me. It's not fair to other people who are like, I'm opening my life to you, a part of my life. Mixed farm being a prime example. And if you cannot do the work, or if it's too much for you, I have 20 of them, then don't bother. Because then, somebody has to spend time going behind you to check your work. I bother. If it's too much, then just say, I'd like to, but I can't. Maybe today is just not the day for me. Or whatever. Or I need some extra help because today is just one of those days that I'm, a bit all over the place. Please be on it and be upfront about it. But it's wearing me out, and I don't like that because then I start to get snappy towards people, and I'm trying not to be because I'm trying to be one of my goals for 2023 is I'm trying to be a better person. But I'm going to end up one of these days. I'm going to say something. It's going to upset somebody, and I'm just going to be like, well, it was coming. I don't want to be that person again. I hate it. I don't like myself when I feel like that. But sooner or later, it's going to happen, and I prefer it not happen. But it's leading towards that. But I don't quite understand why people seem to think it's a joke, the hard work. I know, like I said, I know it's a video game. Just like Mick asked me to be his co-pilot tomorrow on his Iron Maiden flight stuff. And I'll be there because it's Mick. I love him very much as a friend. Yeah. See? Because you turn into that a-hole, and you're just like, well, you all kind of pushed me into this corner, and I tried warning you. I tried to be pleasant, but you had to keep poking the bear, so to speak. And but that's the thing is, and it's part of it is valuing valuing your friendships and saying, if somebody comes to me and says, hey, can you help me out, or hey, can we do a project together, or whatever, just like I used to always tell people at the community college, I said, I don't care whoever you are, anything, if you come to me and say, I need help, if I can help you, I will help you. If I don't have anything going on, I'll say yes. What can I do to help you? Not many people feel that, though, that if somebody says, sorry, stop. Yep, yeah, you're right. We shouldn't have to apologize for it. But but part of it is having enough respect for somebody else to say, if somebody approaches and said, I need help, or can I'd like to work on this with you, let's do this. And you're like, yeah, because you think that person's worthy of the investment of your time to create something or whatever it is, right? That is always, to me, the key. There's people in my life that if I could give them the shirt off my back, although you don't want this one because I've been wearing it for quite some time. I'm looking forward to getting the splint off so I can actually change shirts and clean up a little bit better. But if I think, just like Sergeant Staff was asking about a new logo, and he was talking about it, I think, in Scruffy Stream, so I threw something together for him. Is it like the most amazing thing ever and it's all super? No. But he appreciates it. It didn't take me long to do, but it was worth the time invested to do something for him. Because it wasn't like a super difficult project to work on. It's about respecting somebody enough and loving them as a friend. I'm not talking about romantic love. Just loving them enough as a friend, even if you don't know that person in real life, to say, I can spend this time doing something for you, and I don't really expect much in return. I don't expect a $500 gift card from Walmart, something like that. I don't expect anything. It's just because sometimes you do stuff because you care enough about the other person that you do it. Sometimes it's in a way, it happens in marriages. You do stuff for the other person because you love them enough to do that for them. And it's usually, for guys, it's, the wife wants to go to like the ballet or something. You're just, oh, the ballet, or, something like that. But you're like, it's important to her. I do this because I love you enough to grin and bear it, so to speak, because I know it'll make you happy. But yeah, I if another person has a go at me about working hard, I'm gonna lose it. Honest to God, I'm at that point, and it's not gonna be pleasant, but I have to say it. It's going to happen. I'm trying not to let it happen. Sooner or later, it's going to. I can't abide by it anymore. You can only keep the peace for so long. So there we go. And it's part of it is just the things that I learned in the military. When there's times to joke around, and there's times to where it's like things are very serious. And when you get to that point of being serious, and people are still thinking that like it's joke around time, yeah, that's not gonna sit very well with me. So Yep. Yeah, I've had that happen before too, sergeant staff. That you find the people that kind of think along the same lines as you, and they you get stuff done, and everybody else gets you know they're not called out for their laziness. I had yeah, there's a lot of that too. Or it's just that they're burned out, and instead of saying they need a change, and they need to find another job, they're just like, oh, I'll just stick around because I'll get paid either way. I don't care. I had turkey breast sandwiches for dinner last night after we got done on this farm. I was waiting. I was kind of looking for the marketplace update to see if, in fact, the Wilga was coming to the marketplace. And what else was going to be there? Wasn't really much else of note, but hopefully, hopefully things are starting to look up here on the marketplace for the Xbox side. And I think the lean months are finally over, hopefully, but who knows? Or the lean weeks, I shouldn't say. Well, it seemed like it was months, but the lean weeks are hopefully coming to an end. I think Jordan needs to crack some skulls over there and start getting some people fired up and getting them put their nose to the grindstone, so to speak. But that's his choice. So that's what needs to happen. But what do I know? Yeah, it will probably after sometime after March. That I think that was kind of one of the questions, but he didn't give a timeline. But he said once the WASM fix is out there and things are stable, they're going to start pushing that content out, hopefully as quickly as possible. I wonder if that's part of the backlog. Is a lot of the WASM stuff, that like the DC6, all the 737s. I may get one of them. LVFR's been doing a fantastic job with the Airbus stuff. They're very good about getting updates out. Very responsive to the community. So yeah, I do like the Airbus stuff, but I'm curious. I might get one of the PMDG 737s. I'm not going to get all of them. That's just too much money, but one might be sufficient. Yeah. Because the one we have from Braddock is just blah. Yeah, I know you aren't Sarge staff, and that's okay. That's the great thing. This is very much, to me, kind of like train sim world stuff. There's something for everybody. In train sim, you can do commuter stuff, you can do freight, you can do switching, so there, and it's very similar in this respect that you can do general aviation stuff, you can do bush flying, you can do jetliner, you can do helicopters, you can do glide. There's something for everybody. But you don't. The great thing is, hello, Ricky. Ricky plays the game. Thank you for the follow. You don't have to. If you don't want it, you don't have to buy it. That's the great thing. It's not like if if Sergeant Staff wants to fly with me, but he doesn't have the Ukers 52, that he can't fly with me. He can fly another. I'm in on the Southeast Asia server. Use the same. Yep, there you go. Thank you, Paradox. And the closest airport is. Oh, that's probably very small. Let's see here. Oh, KDBQ is behind us. Let's see, we just left there. I'm starting to turn on my track here. So that's we're about halfway past. You're on Emily's 12. I don't see you in the air. Okay. But yeah, if I see you, keep an eye out for you. Oh, okay. Well, let me see if I got. There it is. It just popped up. Accept. Close. Oops. There we go. But yeah, I usually fly on the Southeast Asia server. We just left that, what's it called? Skyvector open here. Dubuque. The next airport will be Janesville Rock, KJVL, which is right near where we're gonna, Janesville. We're gonna be near that airport coming up. Oh, Rick, did you buy the DC Designs one or the that other one that just got released? Because I can assure you the DC Design one is very well made. That other one looks a bit suspect, but hopefully you enjoy whichever one you got. Yeah, I just have it so that if my mods are not in the chat, then I can try to catch up with the chat. Because my mods are busy people as well. So yeah, I just have the slow mode for my own. Yeah. Oh yeah, the DC Design one is fantastic. And they just put out some new paint schemes for the F-14 and the F-15. So yeah, it's I enjoy it. And supposedly the D model from DC Designs is still forthcoming. So. How'd you happen across... yeah, I do have the DC Design one, yes. How'd you happen to come across my channel, if you don't mind me asking? Was doing a little market research, I guess. How did you find me? Right. Yep, there we go. I see you now in front of me. Which sorry, staff. You know, I need to give Sarge a shout out. I'll make sure I get this right here. It's been a while since he just wrapped up the, I didn't quite hear it. Sorry, I'm multitasking here. He just wrapped up his shipwreck stuff, but go check out his videos from earlier. He did this whole shipwreck series on the Great Lakes. Fantastic. Oh, he just disappeared. Oh, now you're behind me. I guess you're slewing or trying to. Yeah. Yeah, it's like there might be a huge lag or something. Like I see you in the air, but you never get close enough for me to hear the boom. Yeah, it's I don't know, something's not right. Yeah, I'm not hearing the boom. Sorry. Yeah, it's not working. Well, it says you're in a Tomcat, so it's just that it seems like something's like super leggy. I don't quite know. Oh, nice, Arn Staff. He does do a lot of bush flying as well. He does the some stuff flying around. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's just not working today for some reason. Yeah, he does a lot of great stuff. Puts a lot of time and effort for his slideshows and doing the and all that. But yeah, sorry, Ricky. It doesn't seem like it's working today. It might just be a system thing, or maybe the server's a bit goofy. I don't know. That's okay. You're more than welcome to fly along however you want to. All right, 23 nautical miles, just under 24 to our VOR DME there in the distance. Yeah, really enjoyed his shipwreck series. Learned about the Great Lakes regions that I didn't know. Always enjoyed that, learning something about the shipping industry there. Okay, well, Ricky, I'm trying to also navigate here. So while I appreciate your wish to hear the sonic boom, I don't know that something's not working right today. It's okay if we don't hear the boom. It's quite all right. But I do have a flight to complete. This may be something that is not working with the servers or something. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, see, it's like you're zigzagging across the sky for me right now. So I don't I don't know that we're gonna hear any kind of a boom. And also we're probably over a populated area, so getting an actual boom might be, it may not happen. So if we were over the water, it probably would, but that's okay. You're more than welcome to fly along anyway. If you want to stay in the F-14, you're more than welcome to. So anyway, yeah, give Sergeant Staff a follow. Great stuff, great content, always educational. I know for some people that might be a bit much, but give it a try. You'll learn something about an area that It's all good. There was a lot about the Great Lakes region that I didn't know about. So, all right, I'm gonna try to finish off my coffee here real quick. So Ricky, hold on a second. Unfolding wings to try. Well, it just seems like every time you. All right, there we go. No boom, but I heard you zip by. There we go. That's the best I can do. You know, I was trying to figure out, Ricky, how did you find my channel? Or did you just see somebody happened to be on and sounded like a Cessna? Well, it's out of my control, Ricky. But I know you're in the Tomcat. I did hear a quick. That's probably as best as it's going to get. So it's okay. I have my flight to do. Like I said, if you want to continue to fly around and do loop-de-loos or whatever, you're more than welcome to. I just think today just one of those days that the servers are maybe a bit wonky. So, but that's alright. It happens. Okay. Well, hopefully you feel better, and hopefully they don't poke and prod too much. But if they do, hopefully it gives them an indication of what's happening. So, get some rest, and I will catch you again soon. And yeah, nice to see you. Thank you for stopping by. Nice to see you as always. I'm not going to Salt Lake. I'm going to Milwaukee. We're doing a tour in Acres 52. This is leg 38. We're going to try to stop in every state. We started in JFK, New York. Worked our way down the East Coast and on up the west, across the South, up the West Coast, and now we're kind of just zigzagging our way back across America. So I'm recovering from a shattered elbow. I fractured my humerus bone just above my right elbow. So I'm slowly getting back into streaming. So I was streaming 4 days a week. It may only be 1 day a week. We may try to get another flag in on Monday. I don't know yet. Depends on how I feel after the weekend. Alright, just under 9 nautical miles. All right, Ricky, do what you got to do. All right. So yeah, no, I don't really have a schedule yet. I'll try. Hopefully, we'll get another flight in on Monday. See how I feel. We may take off from Milwaukee and head somewhere else just to get try to keep the flying going. Maybe once I talk to the physician assistant a week from today, I'll know more, and hopefully I won't have this big old wrapped up right arm, and I can start moving my right arm and be a little bit more capable. We shall see. I did not get the all clear to go ahead and start streaming or anything like that. I just figured I'd try a little bit at a time just so that I had some kind of content out there to keep things going. So. But thank you, Captain Arash and the Compass Club, for the raid earlier. Nice to see you all here, as always. Alright, and let's see, we need to go on heading to 066. So we're going to let that needle stay behind us to help us navigate, keep that signal. Ricky landed here somewhere below us. I think there's an airport somewhere. Thank you for popping in, Ricky, and flying for a little bit. Uh, Lee Tao Art, thank you for the follow. Sorry, I'm just kind of catching up here. I saw that you followed a few minutes ago. Thank you, appreciate that. We are on our way to Milwaukee. Once we land there, we will be ending the stream once we're on the ground and parked. It is done and over with. Boy, I'm like zipping through all kinds of airspace, it seems like. Oops, I'm getting a little off course here. Yeah, go Scruffy Tam got some good news. He's on board with Toby, I think it is, the eye tracker company. Yeah. And Rogue Energy, which is an energy drink company. Never heard of them before. They are partnering with him, so that's good. Got a couple sponsors now. It's awesome. Today's flight is brought to you by Parasox Airline. Parasox. Just because you have a pair of socks does not mean they have to match. Our founding member Scruffy Tam will tell you, he'll show you on his feet, his socks do not match. In real life, I don't know, but he'll show you his mismatched socks while he's streaming, if you ask myself. This leg of the flight is roughly 58 nautical miles to our destination. We haven't quite hit the halfway point there yet. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this opportunity to step away for just a moment. I'll be right back. The plane probably is going to kind of twist and turn bit, but we'll get it all sorted out here once I return. I'll be right back. All right. Oh boy, we are way off. Well, not way off. We're correcting ourselves here. There we go. Oops. All right. So we're almost halfway there. Thank you all once again for coming in and hanging out. Thank you, Captain Arash, for the raid. Thank you to Lee Tao and Ricky for the follows. Appreciate it. Nice to see everybody here on a Friday. Have a great day, afternoon, evening, whichever may apply. Be already early Saturday for some folks. Nice to have you all along. All right. Oops. All right. Oops. Need to focus on flying. Alrighty. Let's see what else is there. I still do want to do a flight in the Concorde. I gotta set aside the time to get some practice in that. That's on the list of things to do. Once the schedule kind of gets back to normal, we probably will not do long haul flights right away. I think part of that's going to be building my arm strength back up first. But yeah, we'll have plenty of stuff to do in the interim. maybe we'll do some short haul flights, maybe just a few hours as far as like jetliner stuff, regional stuff maybe as well. Uh, the Embraers still, they perplex me all over again. It's the approach, getting the speed down. For whatever reason, and maybe I just need to turn the auto throttle off when I'm starting to reduce my speed for final approach and all that. I don't know, but they are working. The plane is a lot better than it was upon release. They look a lot better. So the interiors definitely look a lot better. And all the systems seem to be a lot better. Alrighty. Start dropping some altitude here. We don't have much farther to go. Only 27 nautical miles to our destination, so gotta get ready to put this thing on the ground. Nice and easy. Easy breezy, blind easy. La la la, boots on the table. Alright, looks like the ad thing kind of sorted itself out. So anyway, yeah, so hopefully, I'll keep things up to date in the Discord. As far as Monday goes, I'll know probably Sunday how I feel. If I think I can do another flight Monday, I'll come up with some idea of where we're going to head to next, so that we don't make sure we touch down in an area we haven't gone to yet. Hopefully to an airport that we've not been to yet. So trying to do all that. Hey, there's the famous Scruffy Town. Sock connoisseur. He loves showing off his socks. How are you, Scruff? Nice to see you here. You're catching us just as we're coming into Milwaukee. Nice to see you. Sergeant Staff he took off. Joseph, you're a bit behind the times. I think you meant to say hi, Scruffy. sergeant staff went to bed. Yeah, I'm doing well. Hopefully I'll have good news here next week. A week from today, I go back to see the surgeon's physician assistant who was in the surgery, who saw everything. I'll do another set of X-rays just to see how things look, and as long as she's satisfied with the images and how I'm doing, then I think the splint is going to come off, the one that they have on here currently. They'll move. Hopefully, she's going to get me one that is going to be that I can take it off and on as needed. And then I think then also the staples will come out, and then I'll start little bits of movement just to get some movement back in the elbow. Nothing with weights, just trying to flex it and all that, and then we'll see how things go. So yeah, but I'm doing okay. See if it is on the list of airports here. MKE. A lot of small little airfields through the area here. I think it's mainly for farming, crop dusting and all that. Oh, we're just keeping on this. Oh, we'll go back to the. Oops. Keep an eye out for it here. Yeah, good to see you here, Scruff. I saw your post about the onboarding with Rogue Energy drinks and Toby eye tracking systems. So that's awesome, dude. Congratulations. Oh, Mick's got a birthday. Oh, yes. That's right, he does. I'll be in the air with Mick, his co-pilot, tomorrow. Evening time for him, afternoon time for me. We're gonna go, we're gonna continue the flying for Iron Maiden in their European tour. Taking off from Slovenia and heading to Prague, Czechoslovakia. Yeah, that's awesome that all these things are happening for you, Scruff. It's fantastic that. Your streaming's getting recognized and partnering with some fantastic organizations, I think. I'd never heard of Rogue Energy drinks, though. That's a new one on me. Not that I'm not a big energy drink fan. I used to drink Red Bull like it was water, and it was after a while. Doesn't taste that good. Not a big fan of it. Stuff will rot your gut out, no doubt. Should pop up on the list here soon, I think. There it is. Oh, there it is right there. All right, so we got our base pattern. We can go ahead and put this away. Yeah, it must. I'd never heard of it, so it's something new. I don't know. It's I don't quite understand this push. Where all these energy drink companies came from all of a sudden. None of it's healthy for you, but some people think that it is somehow, but it's yuck. No, some people, like I said, some people drink it like it's water and it's not healthy for you. It's just like you get a sugar. Yes, Joseph. That's what I said. That's what Nick said last night. We're flying from Slovenia to Czechoslovakia. And then maybe we're going to do another leg depending on how well we do with the first one. We may do a follow-on one. That's for Nick's birthday. He's flying. I'm just going to be in the co-pilot seat. Okay? Hydration one. See, now that does sound like a good idea, but see, what I wonder if they have just they've gotten some sort of a hydration salt mixture and put it in there, and so it's a bit addicting as well in its own way, but yeah, I don't think I've ever heard of the company, but that's yeah. I won't go near them. Like I think of Red Bull immediately. I'm like, no thank you. A lot of guys, when I was in Iraq, we had what they call Rippets, which is a energy drink from Gatorade, I think. But it's just as bad as Red Bull and Monster and all the rest of it. So. All right, there's our pattern entry there. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of just continue to lose altitude here, and then we'll we'll turn back around here. Get lined up into the pattern there. Anyways, I've never been to Milwaukee. Been through Chicago, never made it up into Wisconsin. I like to go to Road America up here at Wisconsin. Elkhart Lake. So I would have preferred to go back in the American Le Mans Series days. I would like to see a race up at Watkins Glen. If I can, well, I don't know what time of year they race, but maybe if I can go to the Saline 6 hours at the Glen. Right, circle back around here. Drop a lot of altitude, seems like. And that seems like we do. We got it, yeah. I think Sam CCH is over in Chicago O'Hare. I think that's too far from here. All right. Let me focus on landing here, folks, and we'll be back in the chat once we're on the ground. Nice long runway here. Kind of hover over the runway and bleed off a little bit of speed before we set the wheels down. We can do that. Hopefully come in nice and flat. That seems kind of weird that the it's angled. I don't quite get that, but okay. The runway is not angled to the leaning to the left, I guess. That's awesome. Ooh, a little bump. There we go. Not the best landing, but we did it. On behalf of myself and entire flight crew, we'd like to welcome you to Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Local time, I do believe, is 7:44 in the morning. We understand and appreciate the fact that it's Friday. And everybody's happy because it's the weekend. Yeah, not too shabby for a one-armed pilot. Kidding. We do greatly appreciate everybody coming by and hanging out today. If you enjoyed today's flying. If you have or have not, Mr. Adams is the complaint department. So if you enjoyed it or did not, you can always tell him how you feel. He'll be happy to listen. I can't say for sure where the complaint may end up, or even your positive feedback, but he is the one that handles all that. So we may be back Monday. I will be back tomorrow in Mixed Stream. I'll give him a shout out here for his birthday. File 13. There you go. That's it. So if you want to watch the flying tomorrow, I'm going to be in the co-pilot seat, talking them through everything. More than welcome to hang out, wish him a happy birthday, and all that good stuff. Nick. You're going to get an earful from Bex, you know that. So yeah, I may even sing him happy birthday tomorrow once we get the stream going and everybody shows up. You never know. But it's going to be fun. We're going to have a good flight out of Slovenia into Prague. Bruce and the boys, Iron Maiden. Get them to their next destination on their European tour. I got a bit of taxiing to do. That's all right. So yeah, we got that happening tomorrow. Come on over and lurk if you can, if you want. Say hello, wish him a happy birthday, all that good stuff. Send him some hearts. You know you love him. He likes that as well. Don't go getting all tender though in the chat, Joseph. It's not called for. We have guests in the chat today. Don't go getting all tender. Yeah, it should be good tomorrow. And then hopefully I'll be back Monday. We'll depart from here. I don't know where we're going just yet. We'll try to get another stream in here. And, yeah, should be good time. Oh, your general aviation parking is way out there. There it is. Should have said to the gates. It would have been probably a lot quicker. That's a. Oh, I did get the Wilga scruff. It came out finally last night in the InSim marketplace after. So yeah, I may try to fly with you sometime on one of your flights just to see how I get on with it. We'll see. Take the other way around here. Yeah, it finally got released for the Xbox side, so yay us. Yeah, I did kind of tinker around with it last night just to see what it was like. I just kind of started it up. The automated checklist does not work at all. It doesn't start to plane up for you, so hopefully that's something that they get fixed. But I was able to figure it out and get it started. So. Yeah. Can't wait to hang the hammock from the left wing with the little lantern there. When I camp out. I think it's going to be a plane that's going to rival the Kit Fox in bush flying popularity. Alright, let's get the engines off here. Get our lights off. Before you say it, you're welcome, Joseph, because I know you're going to say thank you. You're already welcome. I don't know what you're thanking me for, but okay. You're welcome. That's rough. I did when I was in Germany, I got one of those hammocks, and I tell you, when I hung it up, it was probably the best night of sleep I had in the field in a long time. Because those cots are just not comfortable, and you're always trying to, it's like your butt sinks down and you hit the metal bar and you wake up because it's like after a while your butt goes to sleep, and yeah, but the hammock, it was fantastic. Getting in there and getting out was a little bit oh boy, you're really bucking for trouble with Bex. Oh boy. Well, she's probably back at work, but Mick. Anyways, thank you all for coming in and hanging out today. Thank you again, Captain RS, for the raid with the 29 Compass Club members. Thank you, Ricky Plays the Gamer, and Leto Art for the follows. I will see you all again soon. Hopefully Monday. I will update the Discord one way or the other if we're going to do a flight, or if it's kind of like maybe it's best not to. But anyway, Thank you all for coming in and hanging out. Hopefully you do enjoy the rest of your Friday morning, afternoon, evening, early Saturday for some folks. Those time zones, they always get you by surprise. I have been and always shall be your host and pilot, Uncle B. Until next time, peace, live long and prosper.